Hey everyone, welcome back to Some Bites. In this video, we're going to go over my history with me and boomboxes and basically what it's like to use them back in the day. So at first, we have the Emerson CD Cruiser. I got that boombox way back in 2001. It had a CD player, AM/FM radio, cassette player, pretty much had all the basics that a millennial would need because we were kids back then and we had CDs, we had cassettes, and of course we had the radio. Vinyl records were mainly a way to get older music without having to purchase it. Just listen to it on vinyl or any other physical copy that we had in our houses back in the day because we didn't have streaming or digital music back in those days. And then 2003, um, I had the Sony CFD-S200, which I got in 2002, Christmas of 2002. So basically in 2003, I was using the Sony CFD-S200. So I used it for about 2, maybe 3 years at the time. I used it from 2002 to 2004. And it still had a CD player, AM/FM radio, and CD player on top of it. And that's actually the model that I went and repurchased on eBay for a very good price. And we'll talk about that in the next video on why I purchased it. And the next boombox I got after that, it was a bookshelf system, which was from 2004 to 2006. But I had the same model but different colors from 2004 to 2008 or 2007. And it was a Durabrand 5-disc CD player with CD storage, AM/FM radio, the basics. And it sounded great. The silver one was from 2004 to 2006, and then the black and silver one from 2006 to 2007 when I got the Philips BTM 630. And I guess before that BTM 630, I had a Durabrand cassette AM/FM radio mono boombox to play my cassette songs. I didn't have a cassette player back in those days. It was all CD, AM/FM radio, and a CD storage. It was all CD. But I wanted something to play my tapes on, so I went and grabbed a Durabrand cassette AM/FM radio boombox to play my cassettes on. So I had different devices for different formats. Like I had a Thomas McConey 3-speed turntable for my records, a Durabrand cassette AM/FM radio boombox for my cassette tapes, and of course the Durabrand 5-disc CD changer for my CDs, and of course the radio. So I had 2 AM/FM radios, a turntable. So yeah, in 2002 I did get my first record player for Christmas that year. I was about 8 years old. Around that time, I still had my Sony CFD-S200. And I think the Emerson CD Cruiser was actually the first boombox I remember listening to Kids Bop on. And, I started, moving up to different boomboxes like the CFD-S200, the Durabrand cassette CD boombox, a Durabrand 5-disc CD changer, bookshelf system with CD storage and the radio. I also got a satellite radio which had a boombox back in those days, and I was able to listen to satellite radio with the boombox. This was 2006. And then in 2007, I got the Philips BTM 630. I don't know what other boombox I got before the BTM 630, but with the BTM 630, I owned that from 2007 to 2013. And in that time of owning the Philips BTM 630, I got a Crosley Lancaster all-in-one entertainment system with CD player, cassette, turntable, 3-speed turntable, 33, 45, and 78 RPM. It also had an auxiliary jack on the back with an AM/FM radio, and it pretty much had all the basics. So it was pretty much an all-in-one stereo from the late 2000s. And I guess before that, I had a Thomas Bocconi record player with an audio output, and that thing was huge. And it still had a 3-speed turntable, 33, 45, and 78 RPM records. And then I got the Crosley, and then this is actually when we moved into this house in 2008 or 9. Yeah, late 2008, early 2009. And I still have the Philips BTM 630. In 2010, I actually got an RCA CD AM/FM radio, auxiliary jack for the MP3 player, and I got that until I had that until 2010 when I went to Kohl's and I grabbed the Innovative Technology ITT 1980i, which was an all digital boombox with iPod, USB, SD card reader, auxiliary. I guess my first mini system that had that was the Philips BTM 630, which had a USB port, an SD card reader, an iPod dock, a CD player, AM/FM radio, and then I replaced that with the Bose Wave Music System 3, which I'll show you guys when we switch over to my phone. So I'm going to switch over my phone and I'll show you the Philips or the Bose Wave Music System that replaced the Philips BTM 630. Alright everyone, this is the Bose Wave Music System 3. As you can see, I currently own this boombox or this mini system with a CD player on the top, a CD changer down at the bottom, and on the side a Bluetooth adapter. So it's basically a fully functional radio that I got for graduation, and I'm still using it to this very day, some 12 to 13 years later. I will switch back to the computer and we'll finish up this video. As you probably tell, I still have the Bose Wave Music System 3 to this very day, and I got it when I was graduating high school in 2013. I actually got it for my graduation party, believe it or not, and I was so excited because I've been waiting over 20 years, almost 20 years, or 10 to 20 years to get that radio. So 9 to 10 years later, I got my own Bose Wave Music System 3, and I've seen those on QVC a lot. I was like, wow, gotta get one. And since they were so expensive, I finally got one for my graduation. And I still have it to this very day. It sounds great. It has room-filling sound. I have my record player attached to it. The Fluence RT81, which has 2 speeds, 33 and 45. And downstairs I got a Audio-Technica ATLP70X, which has 33 and 45, but size selector for an automatic, so it's automatic turntable with a Clips 1.2 phono, and I got some Bluetooth speakers downstairs. That is designed like a 50 style jukebox. So yeah, 3 years before that, I got the ITT 1980i, which was a great boombox. Kept that until 2012. So it only lasted 2 years. So I tossed it out and got the Ion Block Rocker, which ended up being my party speaker until 2017. And then I got the Monster Audio Rock and Roll 3 tailgater speaker. And I kept that until last year, 2024. Now I have a JBL Party Box 110. So, that's part of it. And then, of course, in 2005, I had a very special boombox, and it was a Batman boombox, which had a CD player, AM/FM radio. It was a basic CD player with a radio, and it was designed like Batman. And that was a very special boombox. And then in 2018, I got a boombox that was made by Victrola, because I actually bought a Innovative Technology, the Victrola 1980s retro boombox, which has a cassette player, AM/FM radio, USB, auxiliary, maybe an SD card reader. I'm not sure if it has an SD card slot or not, but that only lasted about a year or so. I mean, it lasted not that long, so I mean, it just got worse and worse when it got to 2, 3 years old, maybe 4 years old. It just died on me. It just quit on me. And then before that, I do remember having a whole bunch of Crosleys, the Lancaster, because when one broke, I had to get another one. In 2015, I got the Thomas Piccone, which had a record player, which was a 3-speed turntable, 33, 45, and 78, with a cassette deck. Had that until 2018 or 2017. And of course I replaced it with a TIAC LP R550, which had a 3-speed turntable, a cassette player on the top, a CD player / recorder, had an aux jack, AM/FM radio. It pretty much had everything. And I had that until 2021, November of 21, when I got the Fluence RT1, and that's where we're today. And I recently tossed out my Sony CFD-S200, so it lasted from 2018 to 2025 recently. So I recently tossed it out because the play button just broke, so I was wiggling it, trying to get it pushed down to press play, and yeah, it just wore out over the years. It's gone. And I recently repurchased on eBay for a little over $90 the Sony CFD-S200 boombox. Let me see here. I'm going to go to my purchases. And it should be here later this week, maybe over the weekend. It'll come. And as you can see, it looks really, really good. That is what it looks like. And it has an AM/FM radio, CD player, and a cassette player. So it's a 3-in-1 boombox from the early 2000s. And I basically got it for nostalgia, and also got it for all kinds of stuff. I mean, I got it basically for nostalgia and just to relive my childhood, and just go back to where, when I, how I listened to my music back in the day, back in the early 2000s. So we'll do an unboxing later on. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys very, very soon. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a brand new video. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.